All right, so I'm here with Louise. It is me, Bags, and I just want to talk about a little bit your experience with the masterclass and finding Stocklock and how that came to be. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. How did your trading journey start? How long ago did you begin? And what kind of hurdles or what did you go through before you started the education?
Yeah. So I go by Chorty in the chat room. And my journey actually, like when I first learned about stocks and Stelios was back in 2018. I remember I was just browsing through like Instagram and I saw that I think at the time he was making $1,000 a day, right?
Yeah.
He would just constantly post him, and post him. I was like, wow, this guy's just like making so much money. And I followed him, and that was that. And then it kept popping up in my Instagram and more and more. And I was working at a company called Medtronic by the time. It was like a 9 to 5. So I was just being very, very unhappy, you can say. Like I didn't like that routine. I didn't like the person I was becoming, just, an average person. I have nothing wrong with 9 to 5s, you know what I'm saying? Um, it's a great place to be if that's what you want. But I didn't fit into that mold.
Hmm.
So I started following more on Stocklock. Oh, Stelius, sorry. And then he used to ask like pop-up questions on his Instagram stories. And I'll ask so many questions. And all the questions he would ask, I'll screenshot them and just like reread them and see like what's going on.
Yeah.
And I remember I bought his course, I want to say 2019, like the beginning of 2019. I was like, I'm just going to buy it. And at the beginning, I had like no idea, right? Like you don't know anything about stocks. So, so 2019 happened and I just had the course, but I didn't dive deep in completely. I just kind of had it. And then I felt like, I'm learning about stocks, but I didn't learn until 2020. Pandemic hit, and then I had nothing to do, and I started like learning more and more. I had other chat rooms and whatever, like I bet a lot of people do when they start have multiple chat rooms. But this one was kind of like the one I always went back to. Like that was
Hmm.
the first one I checked and saw charts and whatever. So I decided to give it a try. And I so my journey, like a full time, I would say in October, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give myself this chance. If I don't do it right now, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna
Right.
keep prolonging the opportunity to give because I was working 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day, and then I didn't properly study, right? So I gave myself in October, and and then in February, I was like, I'm gonna go all in, real money, no demo. So that's kind of like that story how it
And,
started with
and
Stocklock.
what is it that was bringing you back to the stock lock chat? Because you've got all these other places, all these other things
Yeah.
going on. There's thousands of mentors out there. What is it that kept
Mhm.
you coming back?
There was always well, if you look at the masterclass, it has different strategies.
Mhm.
So I kind of adapted. Like the 15-minute was very, very kind of like slower to me,
Mhm.
right? Compared to other chat rooms, a lot they use the 1 minute. So I could never grasp the idea because everything was moving so fast. And one of Stelio's proprietary strategies is the SL15, which is based on the 15-minute chart. So I like that a lot of people were using that strategy, right? It was like use that one. So it was easier for me to understand that concept of how the the price was moving at a bigger time frame. That's basically like how I kind of fell in love with all the chats, and people just like very openly were answering questions. Like no one was taking you down or no one's um, making you feel bad because you're probably asking dumb questions. I was probably asking so many dumb questions at the beginning, right? Like everyone does, but people were encouraging me to ask the questions,
Mhm.
and that's what I like. It kind of like fell in love with that
So
compared to
it's like a community feeling, like sort of like a family in a sense. The
Yeah,
same
100%.
principle.
Yeah, and then eventually you kind of like start. not knowing them personally, but virtually you kind of see like the same names pop up, right? And then it kind of feels good when you connect with someone else, because at the end of the day, trading is kind of very lonely, very, very lonely. And then when you have this community that it's always kind of like active talking, it makes you feel better, it encourages to keep going and just to see someone else's journey and see if they can make it, I can make it, kind of like that. It's kind of like that positive environment that you want to be. That's what I like a lot.
Spot on. Spot on, man. I'm happy to hear that. And so what
Yeah.
would be like your favorite part of the masterclass? Ever since joining, what is it that stands out to you the most from the whole experience, let's say?
That honestly, there's so many profitable traders. It's not just one or two or three. There's so many, and they all, at the end of the day, like based on the rules and strategies, they kind of make or switch to their own style, right?
Hmm.
There's so many strategies that you can pull them all together and make your own style, and they all proven. We started a March mentorship and just also January mentorship, and they all been profitable, right?
Hmm.
So it kind of involves you more into the market because it's not just one thing, Um, a lot of people in the 2020 were making money just longing stocks, longing things. Here, they teach you how to long, short, and everything, adapt to the market, not just one strategy. There's so many things that I fell in love with that, like it's not just going long or going short. You can either long or short.
Right.
And those are kind of like the tools that you need in this kind of market because the market always changes,
Hmm.
you know, and it's never going to be A or B. It's going to be whatever it is. And if you have those tools, those strategies, uh, you can attack the market,
Right.
right? So that's what I like a lot. And also, like right off the bat, they teach you about something that not a lot of people talk is kind of like the psychological side
Mhm.
aspect of it in the course, and also just like risk management, which is if you don't have risk management, like don't trade.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's one of the most important parts, right? Yeah. And psychology, I think, is something that's really overlooked in trading. And a lot of
yeah,
people are focused on, just patterns alone, pennants and things like that, and support,
yeah,
resistance. But at the end of the day, you're the one who's executing, right? Like you're the one who's
yeah,
actually pressing the button.
yeah.
And
That's honestly, I think that's the hardest part. We talked about it, about how they said at the beginning you think like trading is just patterns and pattern recognition, price action.
yeah,
Yeah, anyone can learn that. But to learn, you have to become a different person and the trader you want to be in order to be successful. I think that's a big part that not a lot of people talk. And then you mention it so many times. I
mhm,
was it. I think it was Friday. It was Friday, right? You gave like that speech, that morning speech. I feel like I was gonna
yes,
go to war.
yes,
That was so fun.
yeah,
And
man.
but it and I think I talked to you uh, right after that
Hmm.
that before like me before starting to understand like the process and not just like the red days that are bad, starting to see it as okay, this is a lesson that I had to take or a red day that I have to take in order to not do it again. um, and then take those red days as lessons because they're gonna happen. You're not gonna be perfect. um, to elevate that consciousness mind into the trading, it's honestly changing. That's when everything changed. Not when you understand price action, but when you understand and then you can be confident enough to execute. Hey, that's what they teach you right there in Stocklock, in the master class.
Absolutely, and that it's not so much target based, right? We're not sitting here saying we want to make 3 Rs or we're going to make 5 Rs in a day. Risk units, for those of you who don't know, but
Oh
we're
yeah,
more about process based, right? It's about
yeah,
actually
yeah,
following the same course of actions on a daily basis. And
yeah,
as long as you did what you're supposed to do, as long as you stuck to your rules, as long as you took the trades you're supposed to be taking, The end result doesn't matter. All that
Yeah.
matters is that you're sticking to your framework, right? And that at the
Yeah.
end of the day is what's going to propel you forward. As a trader, that's what's going to bring you into the positive over time, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's what we have here. It's a process,
Mhm.
you don't deviate from the process. I learned that the hard way. I was trying to make my own things, and I kept going back to losing. And I was like, why am I losing? And then I just follow kind of like the strict rules. Like you said, there's not specific like I'm gonna make this money. No, it's a process that can be scalable, and with the time,
Mhm.
you can make more money. It's going to be scaling. It depends on you. The process and the strategies are there to make money. It's just up to you if you want to put in the work
Mhm.
and learn them. Because
Absolutely.
honestly, the potential, it's unlimited. It's just based on on how much time you want to put, on how much effort you want to put. Because the strategies are proven. You can see it day in, day out.
Yeah. Yeah. The only limitations we have are the limitations we place on ourselves, and they're
Yeah.
in our mind, right? Sky's the limit here, right? So it's
Yeah, and that's the hurdle you have to jump. I mean, pass in order to, I think, with my personal experience, to become more profitable and successful. For example, today, like I was talking to you earlier, that um, I was down, right? Like I started off down. Why? Because I broke the rules, first of all, and but deep inside,
Mhm.
I know what I'm doing, right? So I have
Yeah.
that confidence. Like if I lost this money, I can definitely make it back because I have a time, like a framework, a
Mhm.
strategy, and some rules I have to just follow. And I ended up making that money back and break even.
Mhm.
For me, that's a lot. 3 months ago, I would probably revenge trade and FOMO and just blow my account. But today, a little bit more like centered, following the rules, following the process. I was like, you know what? I can't do this. And and that doesn't happen because of coincidence, it happens because I have first a strategy, a framework, discipline, and rules. And then from there, it's just clicking buttons.
That's
Literally
it.
just
That's it.
click the
Rinse,
buttons.
repeat. Rinse, repeat, my
Yeah,
friend. That's it. Yeah.
exactly. But if you don't have that, then I don't know how people would expect to make money.
Mhm.
Because you can be um, like you always say, there's a random distribution between wins and losses in the market. Everything works and nothing works. But
Yes.
if you can consistently make money, $20, $50, whatever, consistently, then you can up it up.
Yeah.
You have to have a strategy to make that, right? And then
Yes.
that's what we have. I think that's,
Brother,
and if you don't like
you've got
the
it down
15-minute,
100%. You've got the right
yeah,
idea, you've got the right mentality, and I see you doing great things. Really,
yeah,
I do. So
yeah,
if you've got
thanks.
somebody who's in front of you and they're saying, "Hey, man, should I look into this course? Is it really worth it?" What are you going to tell that guy?
Oh, dude, definitely. Once I always say to myself, like, you want to know your why, correct? And why you're doing things. And for me, um, when I'm at a higher level, I would definitely, if I see that someone really wants to learn, I'll be like, dude, I'll get you the class. It's on me, you know, because I know someone would like back in the day was Furlano was there and he gave me like a code. He's like, you know what? I'll give you this discount, and it worked for me.
Mhm.
And that gives me like the key to freedom, right? It sounds weird, but if someone really wants it, I'll be like, dude, this is where you want to be, and I'll give it to you.
Right.
That will be my goal, to help people. Just pass it along, not keep it, not be selfish, because this is for everyone. Everyone can eat.
That's right.
Um, but 100%, I'll definitely recommend. Yeah, there's so
Absolutely.
many strategies you can pick the one that works for you. If you have a 9 to 5, there's a strategy of like towards the end of 2 p.m. If you want to just the 15 minutes, you want a 15 minutes. You want a first 30 minutes, we have strategy for that. Whatever works for you, we have it.
Is there
I
is there
mean,
one that you particularly like the most out of all the
I
strategies?
like I like the SL1,
Hmm.
um, the 15, which is I use it in the 15 and the 5.
Right.
And if it combines with the SL8, oof, that's where like I put all my money. That SL8 with SL1 combo,
Hmm.
Boom.
Wow.
That's my bread and butter. That's my A plus setup.
That's power, right?
A plus plus. Yeah, that's what I like.
Awesome, man. Well, it was really nice talking to you, and I wish you the most of success moving forward. I believe in you. You've shown all the right signs and attitude and discipline and patience, and you got this, man. All right, so onwards
Yeah,
and upwards. All right,
onwards and upwards.
onwards and upwards,
Thanks,
my
Bags.
friend. Take care.